Coming up next on Good Morning El Paso, an arrest in the shooting that happened at a Northeast restaurant over the weekend. ABC7 spoke with the owner of the restaurant over the weekend. We'll have the latest on what she says and why her son was acting in self-defense. New developments in the case against the Las Cruces Police Department. The New Mexico Attorney General and New Mexico State Police are assisting in the investigation. Happening today, community members along with county commissioners are planning on protesting outside the Doña Ana County Commissioners meeting later this morning.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso.
Good Tuesday morning, El Paso, Las Cruces, and Juarez. Thanks so much for waking up early with us today. I'm Floren. Meteorologist Crystal Clay is standing by to let us know whether it was easier to wake up the second day for work after springing forward with the time.
Am I supposed to say yes to that question? Is that supposed to be
not
the answer?
if it's not true.
Let's talk about your. I'm not going to answer. I'm just going to skip on over to your forecast.
All right.
I'm not feeling tired at all, guys. Let's look at your clouds and radar map. We are seeing a nice clear start to your morning, similar to what we saw yesterday outside. Now remember, yesterday we started to see those clouds build in, the rain moving in the afternoon. That chance will be the same today, except for it's shifted a little bit farther to the east, meaning not as great of a chance of rain in some parts of our viewing zone. Again, though, starting out clear this morning, should be a nice commute to work, and temperatures, they're all right, although you'll probably want the coat. 38 is what it feels like outside in El Paso, with winds at 9 miles per hour and an actual temperature in the low 40s. Las Cruces at 37 degrees, relative humidity 84%. As we've been mentioning, we've got that lingering moisture, which we don't always say this time of the year. Usually this is a drier point in our month. We're going to discuss those rain chances today and if they return on the 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Crystal. El Paso police arrested the restaurant manager after a shooting at Casita Linda Mexican Food on Saturday. Police have charged 38-year-old Joe Herrera with 2 counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Investigators say he shot brothers Daniel and Jesus Castro Saturday afternoon after an argument inside the restaurant carried on outside. Court documents say Herrera claims self-defense. ABC7's Pilar Arias spoke with the owner of the restaurant while also taking a closer look at the self-defense laws and has the details.
We are very grateful and very blessed that he was safe, and he kept everybody else safe too.
Saturday afternoon, El Paso police responded to a shooting call at Casita Linda restaurant in Northeast El Paso. When they arrived, they found 2 men critically injured. Owner Yolanda Herrera says one of them was a disgruntled ex-employee.
We do have video inside which shows aggressiveness, complete aggressiveness.
She says she was scared at first when a fight between her son, 38-year-old restaurant manager Joe Herrera, and 36-year-old ex-employee Daniel Castro started in the restaurant in front of customers. Police say Daniel and his brother Jesus were picking up a takeout order, and the defendant says they wouldn't pay for it. That's when the Castro brothers walked out of the restaurant, and investigators say Herrera followed them before opening fire.
Never had an incident here in the restaurant, and since 1972 it's been good.
The Texas Penal Code Chapter 9 self-defense section says it is not justified in response to verbal provocation alone. Court documents do not say if either of the Castro brothers were armed or that they threatened Herrera's life.
And that was ABC7's Pilar Arias reporting. Herrera's bond was set at $10,000 for both counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. Jail records show he has bonded out. Police say both Daniel and Jesus Castro are in critical but stable condition this morning at UMC. Still no arrests or suspects following the deadly stabbing in Northeast El Paso. We first told you about it yesterday right here on Good Morning El Paso. It happened around 8 o'clock Sunday night on the 8900 block of Roberts Drive. Police say a 30-year-old man was found lying on the ground with stab wounds on his upper body. He died at UMC a short while later. If you have any information about this case, you're asked to call Crime Stoppers at 566-8477, the number right there on your screen. New this morning, a state district judge in Las Cruces postponed the trial for one of 3 men accused in a deadly 2014 home invasion. That is according to the Las Cruces Sun News. The third court judicial judge delayed the trial of 20-year-old Raymond Garces, one of 3 men accused of invading that home of MMA fighter Joe Torres back in January. Raymond Garces, along with Nathan Avalos and Leonard Calvillo, are currently being indicted on charges of attempted murder, aggravated burglary, and child abuse. The paper reports that the trial is rescheduled now for June 23rd. Also in New Mexico, the 3rd Judicial District Attorney's Office is looking into the alleged misconduct by 2 Las Cruces police officers. It has to do with that video that surfaced last week showing 2 officers beating an inmate who is now suing the Las Cruces Police Department. Mark D'Antonio has requested the New Mexico State Police conduct an investigation of its own. The Attorney General's office has confirmed that the matter is under review and it will continue to monitor that investigation. An El Paso Border Patrol agent was arrested over the weekend. He's accused of sexual assault of a child. The Border Patrol confirms the agent is 29-year-old Luis Angel Lozada. He was arrested Friday by the El Paso Police Department. We still have limited details about that arrest. We've learned that Lozada became a Border Patrol agent back in 2009 and was assigned to the Isleta station. We don't know yet if the alleged assault actually happened while he was on the job or when he was off duty. Lozada is currently out on bond. According to a Border Patrol spokesman, Lozada is also on administrative leave. New this morning, more than 2,000 immigrants with criminal records are behind bars. The U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement Agency announced the results of Operation Crosscheck yesterday. The agency targeted fugitive immigrants from 94 different countries who were associated with gangs or had criminal backgrounds. Deputy Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas called the event's remarkable achievements.
More than 2,000 criminal individuals who are here illegally in the United States were apprehended over a 4-day period. It's a remarkable achievement for the men and women of Immigration and Customs Enforcement, for the men and women of our department, and for the safety of individuals in communities across the country.
According to the ICE, nearly half of those arrested had previous felony convictions and nearly 500 had come back to the U.S. after being deported. The agency has made over 13,000 arrests since 2011. Here in El Paso, the mass operation resulted in 13 arrests in El Paso and 17 in New Mexico. That's according to ICE officers here in our area. The El Paso Children's Hospital and University Medical Center are still trying to come to an agreement on what to do about the financial mess Children's is in right now. The two had a meeting that began yesterday morning and carried on throughout most of the afternoon. UMC saying it's willing to forgive nearly $500,000 debt that Children's owes it if Children's becomes a subsidiary of UMC. Doctors from Children's have ideas that they want to put back on the table. Children's doctor Stephen Ross and others are suggesting that Children's pay down the debt by sharing uncompensated care for money intended for Children's. But County Judge Veronica Escobar says it's nowhere near that easy. Happening today, a planned protest against the Doña Ana County Treasurer. He has admitted to a sex scandal, but refuses now to step down from his position. We have Good Morning El Paso's Denise Olivas on this story with more on the fallout. Good morning, Denise.
Good morning, Hillary. Treasurer David Gutierrez was a top talking point during yesterday's Doña Ana State of the County. And today, in about 2 hours, protesters will ask for his resignation. County Manager Julia Brown wants voters to organize a recall election.
If there ever was a time when people should dig deep and volunteer to do it, this is the time that they should.
Gutierrez admitted to offering a coworker $1,000 in exchange for sex last year. He has been formally reprimanded, but since he is an elected official, commissioners can't fire him. It's the voters that have to take action. And during yesterday's State of the County address, Brown was loud and clear, calling his acts outrageous and despicable. And protesters will gather at 8 a.m. at the Doña Ana County Government Center, and even some commissioners are expected to join them before their weekly meeting at 9 a.m. Hillary, back to you.
Will be on the story. 6:09 is the time right now. Here's a live look at traffic. Pretty light at I-10 and Piedras. We've been keeping an eye on things on the interstate all morning long, and there are no tie-ups or trouble spots. Still ahead, a Northeast family found a really neat way to use all the snow building up around their home. We'll show you. That's coming up. And later, from heavy snowfall on one side of the country to extremely dry conditions on the other. We'll show you where this fire broke out and the damage it's left behind. And